also our first audio podcast for this channel as well. If you haven't checked us out, techsushi.com. Myself and a few others will introduce some of the guys here as well. Basically, we look at every kind of toy you can think of apart from Star Wars, which we do on another channel called Roaring Conversation NOE and FlyGuy.net. But TechSushi.com is all about collectibles. Hot Toys, Marvel, DC, Lego, Kodabakaya, you name it. We've got lots of toy specialists on this call here, good friends of mine as well. One of these guys I've admired for a long, long time. I've been buying for this guy for many, many years. Good friend of mine, the managing director of DarksideToys.com, Mr. Eddie. That was hello.
That was hello.
Eddie's joining us from Nashville, so we've got a real international call here. This guy sells everything, but also another huge guy that I've been a fan of for years. Literally, if you Google a product in the word review, you'll find this guy doing it. He's been doing it for years. He does awesome reviews. You probably know him as FX Franz, Chefatron. What else do you go by?
He's exaggerating.
Come forward a little. We can't hear you.
Okay.
FX Franz.
The other channel.
Chefatron.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, give us a little bit of a history on you, Franz. How did you start this whole YouTube thing, first of all? Just where we're talking about.
I don't know. It was way back in 2007, I think. I don't know, 6 months. Been married for 6 months. I was like, time to start a new hobby. No more interest in girls, so start a new hobby. Luckily, my wife was she was into toys as well. She totally understood, why I had to do it. So I just started doing it, and I figured, I wanted to show people. The whole thing started because I wanted to help people decide whether a toy was good or bad. To help them decide, because a lot of people really didn't know about stuff, and they bought a lot of toys that really were. Some were really crap, weren't worth the money. So I wanted to save people trouble and tell them, this is good, this is not bad. It was really just a, what do you call it? It's sort of like I wanted to do infomercials and for the toys, and just to let people know that this one sucks, this one doesn't suck. And then we started getting stuff early for some reason. Then I just, started showing people what we had, and that was it.
And you get lots of stuff early, you really do, and. You had some videos recently of you going into toy stores, and it's just like the most pristine Aladdin's cave of toys I've ever seen. But
our toys, we get
your toy stores.
We have no. Those are like hobby shops. We have a lot of small-time hobby shops that get stuff from China, from Hong Kong, and just they stay under the radar. They just ship them in small parcels, and then they just have them there. So I don't know where they get some of the stuff, but yeah, we get a ton of all these things. And there is a collector community that's quite active here in Manila. It's not even 10% of those who buy toys, but it's a thriving community. I'm not a big part of that community though. I try not.
Every time you posted a picture, and Eddie, we're coming to you in a minute. Sorry for jumping all over the place, but you every time you posted a picture, Franz, of your kind of stores and your Toys R Us, it's like this clean, pristine, almost dreamlike store. Mine is kids have came through and they've chucked things around, they've chewed on it, they've spat on them, they're playing on them, and yours is always like you must go first thing in the morning or something, or like.
Part of that I think is because most Toys R Us stores, like in the U.S., Toys R Us directly buys from Hasbro. Here in Manila, 90% of the stuff in department stores or in toy stores are consigned. Therefore, the guy who's consigning the toys will need to have employees in the store with the store uniform. So there are a lot of employees in the toy store that are really just supposed to fix their consigned stuff. They're not really being paid by the store. They're being paid by the importer to take care of the merchandise that they put on consignment. So every morning they have to fix it and all that. So if you're looking for a particular toy, like it's a Hasbro item, you can't just ask anybody. You've got to ask the guy in charge of the Hasbro items, who
I'm
doesn't
with you.
necessarily work for Toys R Us. He just wears a uniform.
I'm with you. So Eddie, look, back to you first of all. I should have done the same thing for you, but I've been buying for you for years. You've basically been my drug lord of toys for about the best part of a decade. Marvel, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and just a bit more. I know you've joined us before on some of the other podcasts we've had, but just for people who don't know you, a little bit of bio on Dorkside Toys, how it started, interesting stuff.
Well, yeah, like we had talked about on board conversation, it just started as sort of a part-time thing when I was in school. And I was a nerd, and I liked Star Wars figures, and I was, I had a collection that I had amassed for years, and I was essentially, like I said before, I was essentially broke. And so I just said, I need to pawn some of this stuff off. I need to start selling it. So I started selling it on eBay, and it just one thing led to another, and it started out small, and eventually it just turned into a business, and a real company, and I have employees, and so yeah, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I've got a pretty good job, so yeah, I'm real thankful about that. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. Not terribly interesting, but yeah, it's a cool job.
Yeah, I mean, you became a bit of you certainly lulled me into, anyway, the G.I. Joe kind of franchise.
Yes.
I was never such a big Joe, but God, the Joes that are out there, you're a real fan of Joes more than probably any other line, really, aren't you?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I started as a Star Wars nerd, and that's really all I carried in the store, in my eBay store, and then I had people from, particularly one of my best customers in South America, we kept asking, requesting me to get Joes and Marvel, and I started buying them, and I was like, damn, these things are cool, and so I really, just sort of got hooked on them. So, yeah, that's sort of what I sort of hung my hat on was, it was G.I. Joe. So, yeah, I'm excited to finally have them back. So,
exactly, and there's a movie this year as well, which we're going to talk about. So, okay, that's a bit of a brief introduction just on these guys, and literally we could devote a podcast just to the two of them alone, because there's a lot of interesting stuff these guys are going to talk about. But the format of the show is we're just going to go through some news and talk about some bits and pieces. Guys, you've got some show notes there. The first one, really, we've got a kind of it's on the tip of my tongue, and really just because some stuff that's been coming out recently. We've seen some pictures of Iron Man 3. Now, there's some interesting stuff. There's Marvel Legends. There's 12-inch figures. But oh my God, these Hasbro Marvel Iron Man 3 3 3/4 images have been kind of leaked. Franz, Eddie and I have both seen these. I don't know whether you've seen images of them. No? Oh, I think we've lost sound from Franz there for a minute. But Eddie, you've seen some of these pictures.
I've seen them on the internet, but not on. We don't have it in stores yet.
Have you seen some of the images of them?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have some.
Are you excited, or
the 3 3/4, the small ones?
Yeah.
I think they were for the weaponizers, the assemblers. There's some guy on eBay selling them, and they're the ones with holes on the sides. Is that it?
Yep.
Are those
I think so.
Yeah, that's it.
I think they're for the assemblers line. It's going to be box set that you snap on weapons onto them. I think those were the figures that were for that. That's why they were crappy, to say the least.
But, well, I know you've talked about it before. I mean, Eddie, you and I briefly talked about this before. You sell these things online. Do you care about these things? Do you think your customers are going to buy them? And folks, what we're talking about here is really crap articulation, aren't we? Really?
Yeah, these things totally suck. They're terrible.
Bunch.
No, I mean they totally blow. They look like the case prices have gone down about 30%. I mean, I'm sure Hasbro realizes that the price of a 3 3/4 inch action figure at $9.99 is marketed toward children is probably a little bit high. So the images, the images that we've seen so far, I think probably represent what the bulk of that Iron Man 3 line is going to be. 5 points of articulation. They totally suck. They totally suck. So no, I won't be buying the 3 3/4 inch figures. I'm going to get the Iron Man Legends line, but no, those things they blow. Yeah, no part of those.
Uh,
I mean, we cater to adult collectors, so no, they're not. It's like you know they suck, so you're not gonna buy them. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy them. Yeah.
Well, just for anyone who's listening or watching, we do have show notes here, so we'll get links to all of these items that we're talking about. So if you're listening and wondering what the hell are they talking about, there is a link there that we've put under this to the show notes. So we are talking about Hasbro's 3 3/4 line for Iron Man 3, and like, I mean, Iron Man as a line started off for me as one that was actually really interesting. It's a great line, super articulated figures, really diving deep into the comic.
Yes.
Kind of series. Franz, you used to do some amazing reviews of figures. Now, I just never even had seen half of these figures on the shelves. Do you still have a lot of them, or have you just gone off the line?
I still have a couple. I'm actually thinking of selling some. There is a new pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store for Wave 1 of the 3 3/4 figures. It says Series 1, 3.75 inch. I think that.
Oh, I think we've lost Franz in the middle of that
Yeah.
there. Such as the problems of being Nashville, Melbourne, and Manila, but there you go, we carry on. So, like, Franz is basically saying, just as you and I were, where we'll probably get him back in a second, and he's coming
Sure.
back. They do suck. So,
they're terrible.
no matter where you buy them. Sorry, Franz,
Yeah.
we lost you there for a second.
Yeah.
You were saying you're trying to get rid of some.
No. On Big Bad Toy Store, I'm thinking there's a particular. I was going to ask Eddie if he
Mhm.
already had Wave 1 of the 3 3/4. The not the weaponizers. There is a listing for a box of 12. There's
Yes.
like three of each. I think that one might be a little bit more promising, but
Yeah,
Wave 1.
I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, it's I'll tell you what it is. Just a second here. Let me find the.
So we really have two different lines then.
Yeah, but they're still gonna suck too. Even
Oh,
I mean, I'm just
take your word for
They
it.
suck!
I'm just telling you they're gonna suck. Hang on here. I'm gonna call the figures out to you. There's like a hang on here. Let me find it here. Yeah, they just actually I just got the solicitation from Hasbro. I guess it was I guess it came out Friday, so that's why all the pre-sales were listed. That's when BBTS and Entertainment Earth, they all Hasbro sends those solicitations out. They tell you when you can start pre-selling. So I'm gonna find the listing. It's got the whole case breakdown. If I wasn't such an idiot right here, I could.
I have a feeling the Mark 42 is not going to be on that case. As for me, the case one is always the ones for kids. The Wave 1 is always, I think, based on experience, it's always Wave 2 that has the good figures. I think.
Sure.
Well, the case price on these, I mean, as opposed to what the Avengers figures were selling at case price, cost about 30% less.
Oh yeah.
That's my cost on them would be about 30% less than what I would pay for a case of Avengers.
Huh?
So based on that alone, I know that they're going to suck. That they're not going to be fully articulated. That they're going to not be.
We'll probably see
Probably
more.
something that
I think
that
it's
adult collectors are going to be interested in.
Toy Fair is coming up, right, in New York.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll
yes.
probably see more there. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I mean, that's.
So we've had there's a 12-inch line that's been touted as well, not Hot Toys, but just Marvel's kind of slightly crappy, but better than the 3 3/4 line anyway. 12-inch figures. There's a couple of pictures here in the show notes for them. They actually don't look too bad. I mean, they're designed for kids for sure, but the Iron Patriot's looking pretty slick for a kind of 12-inch figure in that line. Limited articulation, if you guys can see the images there. They've got the whole Try-Me features and functions. It's called the Arc Sonic or Arc Strike Iron Patriot and the Arc Strike Iron Man. So, look, not too bad, not too shabby. I think they're on shelves at $20, I believe, which is a pretty reasonable price. But I'm wondering whether this whole line is going to go through this period of suck that we've had with Hasbro or Hasbro in the last 12 months, I think, in the Star Wars line, where the Clone Wars just turned into this robotic 4 points of articulation. I mean, do you think it's turning collectors off, or you're just being much more selective about what you buy? Franz, what about you?
Uh, it just for me, less
Yeah.
money to spend, more more money to spend on Hot Wheels and Transformers and you know, Hasbro already said they're canceling the Star Wars droid factory.
That's right.
So there's
Well,
really
the
nothing to
repackaging.
look forward to. I don't think there's anything more to look forward to this year for Star Wars except the vintage line reissue, recase, whatever the. Anyway,
Greatest hits of that work.
can I just show this quickly? Sorry, we're off
Yeah.
topic.
Go for it. Go for it.
What's on shelves now in Manila? We have the Fall of Cybertron, Grimlock, and I actually got this one at a hobby shop. This one I actually picked up at a local toy store.
So what are we looking at here? Transformers, what are they?
This is the Fall of Cybertron Blaster, and this is the Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. Everyone was really excited for this particular, but tell you, heads up, it's very light. So I'm being very cautious with that one. So that's what we have now. But there's nothing new on Star Wars, nothing new on Marvel. G.I. Joe, absolutely nothing, which is a shame because the movie's about to come out.
Jumping topic again, but do you get stock of G.I. Joe in Manila?
Yes.
Something that doesn't appear in the street. You do get stock.
Yes, we do get a lot of stock. But 2 years ago, the Hasbro importer had cut back on G.I. Joes because there's not a lot of kids buying it for some reason. I don't know why, because they have guns, I don't know. But not a lot of parents want the kids buying G.I. Joes for some reason. It's just the dads who are buying the G.I. Joes. And the last ones we got were the first wave for Retaliation. I'm sure you know that, the crappy figures, the non-movie. They don't even look like the characters on the movie. And
I don't think they look too bad, actually. I thought they were right.
yeah, they were okay. They were okay. I'm still getting over that roadblock. That roadblock was really. Oh man. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Case 2, which hopefully we'll get next month. But as it is, if you want to get G.I. Joes here in Manila, hobby shops are the best place to get them, non-retail. Anyway.
Sure. No, look, we'll come back to G.I. Joe because there's a few things we want to cover on there. Just to kill off, because I actually think it's killed off before it's even arrived at Iron Man figures, quite frankly. We're excited about the movie. Everyone's generally up for it, I take it. Yeah. Nods all right.
Totally stoked about it. Yeah, totally
stoked about the movie. Not stoked about the toys.
The toys are going to blow. Yeah, there.
Okay. So. I think that's pretty much the consensus. We can move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is some Marvel Legends already, and that's something
yes,
you mentioned.
Yeah.
So, do you know much about what's coming in that line, or you just heard that there's Marvel Legends?
Let me pull up the case pack here. It's I think it has the Iron Patriot. Let me see what they call that armor. I'm sure it's that primary armor that you see in the trailer that's so prominently displayed in the trailer. And then let me see right here. I'll just tell you what the case pack is.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Two classic horned Iron Man, and that's the one. Well, you can probably guess. That's the one with the mask with the little horns on. So there you go. I'm sure that's the. I think they've shown that one at San Diego Comic-Con a couple of years ago, but it never made it into the last Iron Man Legends line. Heroic Age Iron Man, which I'm guessing that's the, that armor that new armor that they show in the trailer, and then Iron Patriot. So yeah, those are going to be killer. We're buying those, and we're pretty. I'm really stoked about it. It's going to be.
It's not horned as in like that. Sorry.
I'm sorry. It may be.
It may be. It's a horny Iron Man.
Yeah. So plus they come with as we were talking about earlier, they're coming with a BAF, a Build-A-Figure piece, which is they sort of hinted that it's going to build the comic version of Ironmonger. So like they had in the 3 3/4 inch line. So that'll be really cool. That'll be very cool.
Excellent. So the horny one is the lowest one in the pack actually. So we're getting 3 Heroic Age and 3 Iron Patriots. So Iron Patriot's really going to fly off the
yeah, I'm sure that'll be huge. Yeah, that'll be one. Everyone will want one of those, and so yeah. So it's not too bad. Those are cool. So I'm I'm interested to see if they're going to be able to build that Ironmonger with just the pieces that are in that case pack, or if they're follow up. If you'll need figures from follow up case assortments to build that Ironmonger, because that's a pretty big action figure, and really you've only got 3 different figures in this case. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it will, but I don't know.
Well, we'll let you know if more news comes along those lines, but look, sticking slightly with Iron Man, slightly going off from toys, one of the things that always bugged me, and DC, who's another member of TechSushi, unfortunately can't be with us today, we're both huge War Machine fans, but one thing that always bugged us was, where the hell was War Machine during the Avengers? And if you didn't know, there's something we'll put in the show notes there, but there's basically been a comic book that's been released, and it's a prelude to Iron Man 3. It's now out from Marvel. It's on comic shop stands, or you can download it digitally from Marvel.com. But this gives you a little bit of a tip into this, and it's also a teaser for Iron Man 3 in the fact that War Machine's basically off fighting the, spoiler alert here, some of the rings that are a key element in some of the stories, which really is all about Mandan, and I think really that's the kind of backstory as it goes. So if you weren't aware of that comic's out and you want to find a little bit more, go and check that out. But look, you guys are probably like me. I was a big comic collector when I was younger, but kind of gave up over the years. Bought a few digital comics, but I just don't really read them that often. Eddie, what have you? Were you comics? Were you always? Did you buy them? Did you read them? Do you still read them?
I'm really not a strong reader, so I really don't read that well. I'm just kidding. No, of course.
I was kind of like, what?
I just look at the pictures, trying to figure out the story. No, growing up, I really didn't read a lot of comics. So actually, the truth was, I was not really into Marvel or Joe as a kid. I was just a Star Wars geek, and it really just came, after I got to be an adult and got really into this business that I really got into it. So, but yeah. So, but I agree. War Machine's an ass kicker. I totally dig War Machine. He rocked. I mean, he kicked ass in Iron Man 2. I thought it was awesome. So, yeah. So, but
I have a toy crush on War Machine.
Yeah, I never really gave it any thought. Where was he in Avengers? I didn't really think about it that deep because again, it's a movie and it's not real life, so they can do whatever the hell they want with the characters. So, but anyways, I guess that's cool that they put that out there. So, yeah.
No worries. Friends, what about you? Comics? Interested? Do you still collect them, or?
I got back into buying comics just last year.
Cool.
I stopped reading them. The last one I like X-Men. Jim Lee was still drawing the X-Men in the 90s. That was it. 2000, I was never buying them. Then they started relaunching some stuff like DC's New 52. Tried reading it, got hooked on it for a while, and dropped it. Marvel, they're relaunching a whole bunch of stuff. Some are crappy, some are great. I wish Ash was here. He could shed more light on what's going on in Marvel. The comic books, some are great reboots, some are just, what were they thinking? I mean, have you guys read the last issue of Spider-Man? Amazing Spider-Man?
No.
Amazing Spider-Man 700. They've totally killed off. They killed Spider-Man in Ultimates, the alternate universe of Marvel. Now it's a Miles Morales is the new Spider-Man for Ultimate Comics, Marvel's Ultimate Comics. For the current universe of Marvel, Peter Parker and Dr. Octopus swapped minds. Okay,
What?
get this. Get this. This is the best Marvel could do. They're trying to reboot Spider-Man. This is the best they could do. Dr. Octopus finds a way in his dying body to swap minds with Peter Parker. Okay? Now, Peter is in that dying form, and he's on the way to heaven, and all his loved ones say, hey, you got one more job. You can't let Doc Ock run around in your body, so you got to go back. So in the frail body, he has like literally hours to live. He calls on his old arch enemies, because he's Dr. Octopus, right? So he calls on the Scorpion, Hydro Man, and the Traps or whatever. They track down Peter Parker, who is Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius in Peter Parker. He's just eyeing MJ's breasts and whatnot. So, so they fight, but somehow Peter fails to swap the brains again. And the only thing he could do was let Dr. Octopus, or Otto Octavius, live out his memories. So And Doctor Octopus goes, oh my god, your memories are like, oh, I can now become Peter Parker. I'm going to become good because I've seen your memories, and like, I am now the new Peter Parker. Peter Parker, you will not have died in vain. And so Peter dies in Doctor Octopus's body, and then now he's the new Peter Parker. He says, I'll be better than Peter Parker. I'll be the superior Spider-Man, and that's why the new comic book is called Superior Spider-Man. It's Peter Parker's body with Dr. Octopus inside of him.
Okay, that's... When I was younger, I thought Dallas was bad when Bobby came out of the shower, but...
Totally lost me. I was trying to keep up, and it just totally lost me.
Well, sorry. I get it. I followed you, but I mean, I get the point is... so Spider-Man's body, Doc Ock's brain.
I know. Spider-Man is one of the icons of Marvel, and you just don't with the original. I mean, you can't screw with the original. I mean, anyway, the last page of the issue number 1 of Superior Spider-Man, you have Peter Parker's ghost trying to stop his body from killing because Doc Ock can kill.
God.
So it's just, I think they blew it on this one. I think
the writers have been on the ball just a little bit too long. They're just, what do we do now? And it's like, okay. Anyway, I suppose, what do you do when you get 700 comics? It's,
They just killed Amazing Spider-Man. They had Stan Lee do the last letters page or whatever, and then that was it. Now it's Superior Spider-Man. Oh, they should have called it Inferior Spider-Man.
So things are not going good in comic land, basically, is what you're saying.
For Spider-Man.
For Spider-Man, anyway.
Avengers are good. X-Men is good. X-Men, Avengers are good. But Spider-Man, one of the flagship comic books is, I think, I give it a couple of issues. Issue 10, I think, before they kick out the writer.
Oh, dear God.
Anyway.
Well, they can always reboot. That's the whole point of these comic universes.
Yes.
Reboot and then reboot again. Give a boot up the ass. Look, going back to some toys now for a second. One area I think we're probably all collectors over without a doubt is Marvel Universe. Ash, unfortunately, we're trying to get him on here. He may yet still come on. Who's a huge Marvel Universe fan, and I was introduced to him by you friends.
Oh, wait, hold on, time out.
Oh.
I see you guys, but can't join. Help.
Yeah.
Trying for 20 minutes. See you 3 talking, but can't join.
So I've sent him an email as well, so he needs to get a Google Plus account. I sent him all these details yesterday in the email, so hopefully he can follow it and join in. But anyway, I mean, Marvel Universe, you're a big fan as well. Eddie, what's your... what kind of rocked it for you in 2012 in Marvel Universe? What was really big for, or what did you like yourself?
I guess the new Incredible Hulk was easily, for me, the best one for 2012. I mean, this is an awesome figure. I thought the original one that they came out with, I guess it was in 2010, I thought he sucked. I thought the head sculpt was terrible. I didn't like it. But this last one is a total badass. I mean, I can't imagine anyone who's a Marvel Universe fan not having that figure. It is just super cool. And I like the Miles Morales Spider-Man as well. So he's been one of the randomly inserted variants in the case packs, and he's really cool. So yeah, those two are probably my favorite for the year. Yeah, Beast
randomly inserted.
Yeah, Beast as well. Beast is awesome. Yeah, Beast is another one. Yeah, you have to have that one. He rocks. So yeah, those are. I mean, I've heard that Marvel Universe for 2013 is going to sort of go on a little bit of a hiatus. We may only get 1 or 2 waves, which would be a big disappointment because they're doing some great figures.
I think it's one of the only figures I know which has articulated toes.
Yes.
Which is just rocking it. It's just an amazing looking figure for that.
I mean, they do some super cool stuff, and it's just like I look at it, and this is what makes me so frustrated about Star Wars is that, from a retailer side, they do, Marvel Universe, they do all kinds of revision case assortments where they keep bringing back popular figures, repack popular figures, and they pack them, new figures, 2 per case. you know, they always tell us in Star Wars, oh, we can't do that. There's a limited amount of tooling and the cost, but they do it with they do it with Marvel Universe. So, I mean, I understand the figures are a little modular, and they can use lots of the same parts for different figures, so there's reduce the cost that way. But man, yeah, it's a great line. Yeah, it's a great line. And if you don't, I mean, again, it's one of those things that it's super hard to find at retail too. So if you're a Marvel Universe collector, you pretty much
I agree.
You want to be a completist, you're going to have to order them online. So.
They've pretty much rocked the line this year, I think, with some really good figures to me. Anyway, Professor X with that cool little.
Yes.
Is that out yet? I believe.
Well, some of the big box stores here in the States, like Walmart's got them, but they bring, we get our figures via Hasbro's distribution. Hasbro brings them over, and then they ship them out from their distribution centers. Target, Walmart, Toys R Us, they bring them in, I guess FOB, or they bring them in themselves. So Professor X showed up at Walmart's in early December, but most of the online places have not gotten them. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we haven't gotten ours. So I think let me see, I think they're scheduled for, I can tell you right now, it's supposed to be a February delivery. So I'm looking at the solicitation right now. So, yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna pause just for 1 sec. One of the guys we were trying to get on. This is the point of doing these things live. They're completely raw and unedited. So one of the guys we really wanted to get on here, but we couldn't. But we're gonna try and get him back on. Is a guy called Ashrock 1982 from YouTube. Good friend of Fran's and mine's here. So let's see if we can invite him in. If we don't, we'll carry on. Hopefully this will work, and we'll see if we can add Ash into this. Some of you may know Ash from his Marvel Universe reviews. He's a great guy. If he's on, hello Ash, can you hear us at all? His video may come through in a second. He's also known as the Marvel Universe Guru, which is what his channel sometimes is called. And this guy certainly, he came to me through Franz. You introduced him to me, and just you raved about this guy on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I had to check this out, and no wonder. I mean, the first video I saw of this guy was him wearing a God of War, basically Kratos mask.
Oh yeah.
He'd just taken a shit and told us he hadn't washed his hands, and then decided to introduce his Marvel Universe collection. I was just side-splitly funny. And at the same time, this killer hip-hop beats playing in the background as he goes round, and I just thought, who is this guy? He's absolutely nuts, but awesome at the same time. So we're trying to get him on here. Doesn't look like we're going through. Hopefully, we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying.
Okay, that's
We've
great.
invited him anyway, so we'll see what they can get on. But while we wait for him to maybe hopefully join on, some of the things that this year and basically what happened last year was I really got into Hot Toys crazily, and so did one of the guys from TexasU.com, DC Darth Conlon. Things went a bit nuts with Hot Toys last year because the price of these things is just astronomical. Particularly with the Avengers, we got some amazing figures. Some of the Iron Man, War Machines, Iron Man 2.0, they basically re-released the original Iron Man but in a newer version because it was such a rarity. So many figures have been released from the Avengers and so many more to come. We've also had Warmonger this year. Just a stunning amount of figures for Hot Toys, immaculate quality, prices to match in some cases, pretty high. But there's some amazing ones coming up for next year. Now, Eddie, we've talked about this before. You've not really got into these, but are you tempted at all by any Hot Toys? Does the G.I. Joe one do it for you?
Yeah, the Snake Eyes is awesome, but again, I'm cheap. I mean, for myself, I just cannot spend $200 or $300 for something for myself. I'm just too cheap. I won't do it. So, but I agree, they're awesome. I mean, that Ironmonger that you reviewed on your YouTube is incredible. I was like, that thing is so cool. But yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. It costs too much. They just cost too much. So,
they do. But G.I. Joe is one of the licenses that Hot Toys have got for 2013. Mm-hmm. The Retaliation license includes not only a stunning Snake Eyes, which you've got to see, but Joe Colton, so basically Bruce Willis, remains to be seen how they're going to pull that off in the facial department. But Hot Toys, if anyone can do it, Hot Toys can. Roadblock, which again could be pretty cool, and of course Storm Shadow, which is rounding things off, which is pretty cool. We've also got some other cool licenses as well, which are promised this year in the Star Wars line. There's also the General Grievous. Oh, I think we might have Mr. Ashrock 1982. Can you hear us?
Yeah, he's there. I can see him.
Oh, hey.
We can see the man. I think he's frozen. He's frozen in carbonite there. Come on, Ash. Ash is joining again. This is the beauty of doing this live, everybody, as we said. Hopefully we can get him on here. You coming on? We're getting lots of pictures of him down the bottom here, but he's not.
I know, man. That's great.
He looks great that way. I mean, you know.
He's just frozen. Never getting through of him. Never getting Ash in every different look. Closed eyes, open eyes. While we're waiting for Ash to join, if you can hear us, hopefully. Hot Toys, friends, for you.
No, I haven't started. No, it's just way too expensive. I'm already collecting too much.
Really?
A lot of people have tried to sell me their Hot Toys, the Batman, Avengers. My wife will just murder me, really, if I started. Really, literally, murder me and keep me in the basement or something like that.
Can you? That's nice.
I cannot start. Oh, there he is. Is Ash on it? Oh, he's left.
Can we hear you? No, it's not getting it. Yeah, look, they're pretty expensive. They're certainly not cheap, that's for sure. But it's the quality of these figures which is just mind blowing. You know, we consider all the money that we are all spending on 3 3/4, and we're talking about how much suck they're bringing this year. I don't know whether it's something to do with the fact that people are generally moving, of course, to higher priced, better quality figures. What's the availability like for you in Manila, France? Stores, hobby shops, and Sideshow, I guess? They ship to you?
Oh yeah, we get a lot of Hot Toys because Hot Toys it's a Hong Kong base. I think it's based in Hong Kong. A lot of hobby shops get it. The retailers don't have it. Only the hobby shops have it, and their range. I don't know why. There is a strong market for it. For some reason, a lot of rich nerds are buying the thing. I have no idea why they're spending so much money on it.
I'm bankrupt.
There's Richard #1 right there, hosting tonight's episode here.
My credit cards are getting cut by the day, but never mind.
And
sorry, you.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. The most expensive one I've seen was, I don't know. I think you could buy like 10 Voyagers, like 10 or 15 Voyager class figures, or 10 or 15 Bravo class Star Wars vehicles for just one. That was the most expensive one I've seen. I forgot if it was a limited edition Iron Man or Joker or something like that. But it's just ridiculous. I don't think I'm ever going to get into that. Famous last words.
They are an expensive line, and particularly the DC as well. He's been trying to budget and juggle all these figures, and of course I started off buying just a couple of the Avengers, but then you got to buy them all. You just have to buy them all. They just, you know, the Hulk, he's awesome. Black Widow, beautiful. They're just great looking figures. Hawkeye is one of the stunners. Nick Fury. So before you know it, you're on your way to the best part of several grand. But then recently one of the things that came out was these Iron Man containers. I can't remember the exact name of them. I've got them in the show notes. I forgot the name. But it's basically displays Hall of Armor. That's basically what they're called.
That's right.
Iron Man Hall of Armor. These are glorified plastic boxes with lights in them. Literally the best part. I think it's $199 bucks. I think. For one of these, and this is nothing. There's no toy. There's no articulation. You just take your hot toy and you put it inside. So it's not a cheap hobby or line to get into. But anyway, we'll hopefully get DC on the next time. He can take us through some of the other stuff that's coming this year. But there's so much stuff. Dark Knight, Joker 2.0. Some of these other Avengers they've even leaked into is. Some of the other characters, the aliens basically from the Avengers movie, they're not Skrull, I can't remember the name. Chitauri figures. So they're really spreading these figures around. Anyway, enough of the Hot Toys because they're too expensive for us to talk about. G.I. Joe, Eddie, coming back to you on the G.I. Joe front, we were talking about the Wave 2 that's coming out. Wave 2 you were mentioning before looks to be a little bit more exciting than Franz was mentioning.
Yeah, Wave 2 is actually... Yeah, Wave 2 was pretty good. The new Roadblock, the Battle Kata Roadblock is a great figure. Very cool. Snake Eyes is, again, he's super cool figure, fully articulated, rocker ankles, the whole deal. Yeah, we got him in, I guess, about 2 weeks ago, and sold through. I got a small run of them and sold through pretty fast. Storm Shadow, he may suck a little bit. So he's basically he's basically a Kit Bash figure from Rise of Cobra repaint. Not terrible, but yeah, you know, he didn't sell that fantastic. And you know, for what I mean, Flint and Firefly, which they were packed one per case, sold out pretty fast, but you know, the Firefly really blows. So he's yeah, he really doesn't have you know, he's not fully articulated. He has some kind of something going on with his arms and you know, his forearms where he interacts with that sled. It's supposed to glow. It's stupid. So anyways, not crazy about that one, but yeah, if you're a Joe fan, you got to pick up the Snake Eyes and the Roadblock. They're just rocking figures. I wish I don't think I have one here close that I could grab. I could show it to you, but yeah. So anyways,
they're good looking figures. I mean, Wave 1 seems to have been, Franz, you were saying it wasn't quite as exciting as you would have hoped.
Yeah.
To you, to me, it didn't look too bad. But what was it you didn't like at Wave 1? Was you were saying some of the articulation sucked a little bit for you, or
for G.I. Joe?
Yeah,
the articulation, right? Well, the big thing for me was none of the Snake Eyes and the Roadblock character. I wasn't movie accurate. I'm a big, you know, I like to get the movie accurate figures first. So, you know, I wasn't gonna pay. It was going for how much was it going for? $15 US here, a pop. 15 or 16 US dollars. It was very close to a deluxe class figure of a Transformers. I was not willing to shell out that much money for those. Limited articulation was another negative. So I'm just really waiting for the second case assortment, and if that one looks promising, I'll probably go back and get the other ones that I missed out on.
Yeah, well, the Roadblock and the Snake Eyes are fully articulated, you know, rocker ankles. Yeah, they're awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, they're awesome figures. And I thought Wave 1 was pretty good. The Red Ninja is a great figure. I thought the Cobra Trooper was great. Yeah, Red Ninja is really good. So I think it was terrible. I've certainly seen a lot worse, but yeah, I'm excited. Like we were talking about before we started the podcast, I'm excited that G.I. Joes are back. So yeah, I'm really excited about Wave 3. So.
Excellent.
How many? Hold on. Sorry, Stephen. I wanted to ask Eddie: are the Red Ninjas and the Trooper, the G.I. Joe Trooper, really short packed? In the first case. Well,
they're one per case. They're both of them are one per case in Wave 1 and Wave 2. They're repacked. You know, in Wave 1, you get the Blue Trooper. And they shipped out, I think some cases in Wave 1 got the tan one. And all of the cases that I got in for Wave 2 had the tan Joe Trooper. And he sold pretty fast. So that's a cool figure, too. I mean, that's an awesome army builder. So, yeah.
I mean, scalpers are just, I never saw them on retail. The only time I saw them was in hobby shops. And people seem to be grabbing these Red Ninjas and G.I. Joe Trooper, like 3-4 pieces at a time, and which is sad. I mean, if your kid wanted to get one, you can never find one.
Yeah. Well, stores around here, I don't know how it is there, but here in the States, I mean, it's not like it was 4 or 5 years ago, where, well, like when Rise of Cobra came out, you know, when Rise of Cobra came out, there was a huge, I mean, 2 waves launched at the same time. There was tons of figures, but now it's not really like that. I mean, Target or Walmart, they may get in what amount to 3 or 4 cases max. I mean, I never saw more than 2 cases or so hanging on the pegs at Target. So I just think times have changed, and particularly with G.I. Joe, which is not really a premier, not like a big, like Star Wars or Avengers or something like that. I just don't think there's going to be a ton of them at retail. They may not be hard to find because the people, there's not that many people going for them, but I wouldn't expect to go into Walmart and see a whole end cap full of them. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to pause just for a little second here. You won't see this on the YouTube video. We'll blend the two together. We're going to take a quick pause, and hopefully we'll come back with Ash, one of the other guys we wanted to. And so we'll see you in a minute. So there we are, we're back for kind of part 2. As we said, this was a very raw and live Tech Sushi podcasting video. As you can tell, we're a high quality caliber of video production here. However, for a good cause, we went offline there just for a minute, and that was to introduce someone who we were a fan of. We're trying to get him on the show. The poor guy was trying to connect as we were talking all the time. So he's here. His name is Ashrock1982 on YouTube, certainly, and one of the things that we were talking about earlier on was this guy was one of the guys I stumbled across from FX France. And, well, look, do you know what? I've already spoken about him in the first video I came introduced. Ashrock1982, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, man. Absolute honor to be talking to all you guys. I mean, this is awesome, dude. This is really cool, and never in a million years, starting off on YouTube where the intention was just to talk figures and have fun, did I expect the camaraderie and the fact that there's so many people around the world that share the same passions. Most of my friends out here in Chicago think I'm just one big freaking geek, but to have all you folks around the world, and everybody has their passions and what turns us on, and collecting, it's an amazing thing. So glad to be here. I really am. FX, everybody. I have not met my friend here yet. Going with the Boston Red Sox. Are you from Boston?
No, I'm from Nashville, but yeah, I'm I guess a part-time Sox fan.
Okay, good deal.
This is Eddie from DarksideToys.com. You may have seen he's a big seller of Marvel, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, etc. So and a good friend of ours. So and he's a fellow toy geek.
Yeah.
Good.
So you join us, Ash, just as we're kind of halfway through some of these notes. We're just talking about Hot Toys. We've run through a little bit of Marvel Universe, but let's just rewind a little bit on the Marvel Universe, given you're the Marvel Universe guru, as you see on your channel. Just a brief for you. I know you've got plenty of videos on this subject, but in 2012, I think it's probably safe to say Marvel Universe was still kicking it for you, but then with maybe Vonner gone, is it kind of gone a little weird for you, Marvel Universe-wise?
I think it's gone weird for everybody. The slowly but surely demise of Universe and Legends is I hate to be a negative person, but if you guys know me, I'm very straightforward with my approach, and it's coming to an end. I think we saw that, I am a person of business as well. I have a profession in business, and I work for a major corporation, and I understand how things work. And one of the things that always happens with companies is they always let go of the people first. And Vonner and the 70-something people that were released happened to be the people working on Universe figures. So from there, you guys know the waves were coming out, real just terrible distribution. I know they were trying to test the markets in Asia and South America with the Professor X Jubilee wave. Yeah. And then the overall distribution was just so terrible. Even going into 2013, we really don't know when the new figures are going to be released. I've pre-ordered them. I've contacted different people. I have a lot of other friends that collect them worldwide, and nobody seems to know. It's just kind of a dice roll at this point. But yeah, definitely. I mean, some great figures though throughout 2012. Definitely, I know a lot of my fans and friends been bugging me about doing a top 10 of 2012 MUs and maybe 2011 and all the other years with MU. But again, I just don't know what direction they're going in. It seems like Hasbro really has their head up their ass, I think, with some of this stuff. I really do. I think of a Marvel, and I'm sorry if I'm chatting on forever here, but I think of Marvel. How could you not market that? You know what I mean? It kind of boggles the mind. They keep recycling G.I. Joes, they keep recycling Star Wars figures, but you can't sell Marvel. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's something wrong there through the business aspect side of things that they're not doing right. So, you know, we'll see what happens. For me personally, in terms of MU, I'm appreciative of the line because it brought me back to collecting. I mean, you guys can see behind me, I got a ton of other stuff. You know, these are my Marvel figurines, but I collect so much other stuff, and now I'm collecting Transformers again. I'm getting into different import figures are really where it's at right now. I mean, import figures, and we can talk about that later. But you know, that's pretty much my thought on it in a nutshell, I guess. It's just it's a little disappointing. I knew when Bonner was going to go that the quality was going to go bad, and case in point, go look at the Jubilee figure if you guys don't believe me. Probably one of the worst figures I own. I'm not kidding you. So, and if you're a kid, don't watch that review because I'm very angry in that review.
I love the innuendo you have in your reviews, and that's what she said is one of your favourites. And I've noticed your influence now on Franz, who's just getting worse with the innuendos as well. Every time he talks, it's about flaps, it's about knobs, and now I'm starting as well. So anyway, coming back to
we were Google chatting, me and this other guy that FX knows. His name is Big Daddy Earl. Real good friend, real good people, and I was chatting with him on Google Chat probably about 2-3 weeks ago. And he goes, "Dude, I don't know what you did to FX, but his mind is warped." You know, like,
I think it always was. You just made it worse. But
yeah, it was hilarious. I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Well, okay, I guess. I mean, you know, as long as he doesn't like beat his wife, I mean, that's cool."
You know, I've gotten heat from several parents who are actually subscribed to me, saying that I should put a label warning on my set, whatever. It's no longer PG because of you. No, I'm kidding.
My reviews are honestly intended towards adults. I mean, I know we're going off subject here, but my reviews are intended towards adult collectors. I know kids are going to watch it anyways, but there's a part of me that doesn't feel too bad because kids are exposed to all this stuff everywhere else: video games, movies, TV shows, internet. I mean, my 8-minute review on a figure, and I say the word ass or boobs once or twice, is not going to really destroy their mind frame. You know, they're not going to damage them too much because there's plenty of stuff. You know, when a kid plays Grand Theft Auto and he learns how to pick up hookers, then you got a problem. So, you know,
it's very, very true. Very, very true. Look, keeping it back on Marvel Universe for a second, Eddie, you're right in the thick of it with these products and with Hasbro, and if anyone's exposed to what's really hot and what's not, it's got to be you. What in your mind is really what's sold well in the last 12 months for you in the Marvel Universe line?
Well, the Hulk I guess that you know, like we spoke about the Hulk earlier. That's probably been one of the better sellers. I'd like to just come back and just address one of the things that we were just talking about with as far as the distribution and where Marvel Universe is going.
Sure.
I don't have any inside knowledge, but I think that what you see, particularly with last year, and that's probably going to be this year as well, is that there's a limited amount of shelf space when there's big movies like the Avengers that are shipping. They're not, Hasbro's not going to ship. They're not going to ship a lot of Marvel Universe when Avengers is out. I mean, I think that's probably what killed Marvel Universe last year, was Avengers being out. I still think the figures. I mean, they have some crap ones. I agree. There've been some really terrible ones, but overall, I mean, they pay a lot for this license. I just don't. I don't buy into the doom and gloom that it's going to go away. That it's over with, and maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Rumor is there's not going to be 2 waves this year, and the ones that I've seen so far, I think they look pretty cool. I mean, I don't come at it as a comic book person. I just look at the figures and say, oh man, I think that's badass. That's cool. I'm just a toy nerd, and I still think they're pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I mean the waves that are coming out are going to be amazing. This next wave that's coming out with Hercules, Puck, Nova. Oh my God, that Nova figure is that's bananas, man. That's a great looking figure. And no, I'm with you. I understand that aspect, but I just see, for instance, here, case in point, San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con. Let's just go to San Diego Comic-Con first of all. That is the biggest comic book, nerd, toy, I mean everything convention in the world. And what Hasbro showed us there, whereas in years prior, they showed us pretty much nothing. They gave us a couple minutes. They said, yeah, we got an Old Man Logan come out. Let's go to the Legends. Then they talked about Legends for about 30 seconds, and then they were done. They went on to these stupid things called bazongos, or whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, like, what is going on with this world? You guys remember that, right? Okay.
Yeah,
and then
a
lot of people said, and then what Hasbro officially released, their official statement was, we weren't prepared. How can you not be prepared for San Diego Comic-Con? I mean, seriously, like, is anybody buying that? Maybe some idiot would buy that, but me, as an adult, as a person who considers myself somewhat smart, it just made no sense. Then New York Comic-Con came, and it was the same exact deal. So the lines, the stars have aligned, I think, you know, from the firing of the guru behind it all, the one that was responsible for some of the greatest figures in 3/4 inch size, being fired, and then the way they've been, you know, publicly about it, they're just hiding behind the scenes. So, you know, I wish it's kind of like a Band-Aid for me. You know, I wish they would just rip it off and just tell us, guys, we're ending it, or whatever. We're going to come out with a couple 2-packs here and there, kind of like they did with Legends a couple of years back, where they just kept giving you 2-packs for like 2 years or whatever it was. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think they're insulting the collector in a way that upsets me. I'm not going to lie, because I work hard for my money and I spend my money on your product. I expect a little bit of honesty and straightforwardness with that. But, you know, I mean,
it does seem really strange to me. I mean, Marvel Universe came out here in Australia, wave 1, and that was it. It was killed. No more were ever stocked. And ever since that point, it does seem to me, the perception is anyway, that waves have become less and less available everywhere. And yet, we've gone from these 3 3/4 inch figures, which must be cheaper to produce than the 6-inch Marvel Legends, because they're not that much of a price point, really, from a $9 figure to, what is it, maybe what's the kind of ideal price? 19?
Well, I think the suggested retail on most of the Legends is around $16.
Oh, really? It's cheap. See, to me, that's just, wow, that's cheap.
Yeah.
That's really cheap. But I don't know, it just seems to be that it's getting less and less and harder to get. But I mean, again, Eddie, from your point of view in sales, are you noticing people are buying more Marvel Universe or less?
Well,
I'm trying to look for a prediction in some ways.
Well, you know, I'm probably not the best one to say, because my customers are adult collectors. So, you know, I sell a lot of Marvel Universe. But if I could see where Target or Walmart, a big box store, you know, again, Marvel Universe, Marvel Legends are really more lines for adults, not so much for children.
Niche.
You know?
Yeah,
it's for adult collectors. And Walmart, not Toys R Us so much, but Walmart, big box store, they just sell toys. They're not necessarily, you know, it doesn't matter to those guys if it's Avengers or it's the crap Mattel Batman. You know, they want something that's going to cast the widest net. You know, they're going to want something that they can sell that will sell to children. So, I mean, I understand your frustration about not being able to find figures on the shelf and the distribution being terrible, but it's not all Hasbro's fault because the distribution is terrible. I mean, they can't force retailers to buy figures. They can't force Walmart to buy. They're not going to, you know, they pretty much take their marching orders from Walmart. If Walmart doesn't want it made, it's not going to get made. So if you're a hardcore collector, like I said before, I've said it many times, you have to buy online. You know, that times of buying stuff in the stores it's over with. You know, you just can't. Yeah, it's just over with. It's just time's past.
I mean, to even to the degree you guys in the US are still, from all intents and purposes, still lucky. I know a lot of people still can't find products in stores, but Jesus, come and live here, and you ain't getting shit on the shelves. There's nothing at all apart from crappy Mattel figures and Avengers, and it's sad. It's really, really sad. So I gave up years ago and shopped online exclusively, but I think actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what you were saying was, and I was hinting towards, was the kind of after effect of Vonner and all those team, and I didn't realize it was up to 70 people that left. It seems to begin to peter out, and maybe that's why when they were saying at San Diego Comic-Con they weren't prepared, because basically it was because they fired everyone's ass.
It may be. Yeah, it may be.
Yeah, I think it's definitely that, but And to what you were saying about adult collectors, Maddie Collector has their exclusive, online collection thing where adult collectors can subscribe. And I've said this before, and this is going to sound freaking crazy, but I would pay $20-$25 as a collector for one Marvel Universe, even if it was once a month subscription type deal, and just to keep the line going, and
Sure.
just to constantly get the figures that I want, up to date comic book related characters, different variants, costumes. I love all that stuff, and I think we're slowly starting to see that it's not about that. Hasbro can care less about the collector. I think that when you go look at Hasbro's overall sales, they probably sell more. What are they Monopoly boards, or they got like all those games, and they have Hasbro, it's like a list out the door. I mean, you can't even keep track of all the stuff they sell. So Universe and Legends, let's face it, they're at the bottom. And what you said earlier about the movies, you're damn right, the movie sells. Avengers movies figures, as crappy as they were pretty bad ones. I mean, the Ultimate Hawkeye I think was cool, and then a couple others here and there. But yeah, the Black Widow was nice. But other than that, I mean, the rest of them were just crap. And
Yeah, the Hulk was horrible. He totally sucked.
FX loved the Hulk, though. Don't
He
talk
sucked.
about the Hulk.
I
FX
don't
loved
know,
it.
man. That Hulk totally sucked. Yeah, but it's like we're saying. I mean, I rarely saw him on the pegs at Walmart when I would still go into the stores or Target or whatever. I wouldn't see them hanging on the shelf very much.
I was actually at another thing that Hasbro probably made a big mistake on, and which didn't help the sales, was, for instance, like the go to.
Oh, I think we're losing you there, Ash, a little bit.
And I'm sorry?
We're losing you just a little bit. You were going into kind of stutter mode.
Am I good now?
You're good now. You're good now.
Yeah. So the MU Gladiator. If you I was at Target the other day. It's a local store out here, but they had. I'm not kidding you guys when I say this. About 16 or 17 Gladiators. That's all they had, just sitting on the pegs. And I'm thinking to myself, like, as a collector, I'm like, I love that figure. I think it's a pretty badass looking figure. But the kids aren't, like you said earlier, the kids aren't buying them. So there has to be something where, and I know Hasbro tries its best with Universe and Legends in almost every single wave to give a A-class, franchise type character. Sure. Whether it's Wolverine, Captain America, the Hulks, the Iron Mans, they always, and that's why people always bitch and moan, oh my God, I got like 800 Wolverines. Well, they got to keep selling their best thing. I mean, if they were to come out a wave of, some third-party, comic book-related thing that me and you would understand, kids aren't going to buy them. Like the Galaxy of the Universe figures, or Galaxy of the Universe, Guardians of the Galaxy figures. Those things are freaking awesome, but I can go pick one up right now. I mean, there's maybe about 15, 20 of them at the store because, again, so maybe they need to reach somewhere in the middle. Maybe they need to go, okay, or it's either they're gonna compromise, or they're gonna cancel it, or they're gonna say, screw the collector. We're just coming out with what we want to come out with, which is what you said earlier, movie figures. You're gonna keep seeing movie figures. You're gonna see a ton of them, but I don't know. It's difficult to say at this point. So. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Marvel Universe will go the way we were talking about this before you connected about the Iron Man 3 figures, and I was saying that my case price on Iron Man 3 figures is going down about 30%, and that's really bad news because that tells me that the figures are articulated no more than this bottle right here. They're just basically just sticks. They're terrible. So Hasbro's. I mean, they get beat up a lot, but I still believe that they've got smart people there who know what they're doing, and they know that Marvel Universe is for adult collectors. And I don't think you'll see, Marvel Universe figures with 5 points of articulation. I don't think that'll happen. So I think that that it will be scaled back because movie figures are profitable. They sell a ton of them, and they can make them cheaply. Kids don't give a crap if a figure has rocker ankles or not. So if you're in a business, you're in the business to make money. I totally see where they're coming from, and I don't blame them. If it takes those, if they have to sell those to be profitable, and we still get cool figures like like the new Incredible Hulk or Beast, and I'm totally cool with that. Yeah, totally cool with that.
I think, now, I don't have wads of cash in my pocket, but I think like most of us, you go into toy stores, and as grown adults, let's face it, we're all, you know, we've all got jobs and we're earning money, so we have some disposable income. You go into toy stores, and I continually find myself, you want to buy something, you're itching for a new toy, and continually all I'm faced with is shit. Fighter pods, which are okay, but way overpriced here in Australia. Angry turds, as I call them, those awful, awful things that Hasbro are pumping out there. And again, the prices here in Australia are like triple what you guys are paying for in the US. And don't even get started in the Mattel line, which is just, Eddie, as you said, it's for kids, I know, but there's nothing out there. And I'm turning a lot of things to things like Lego and other stuff, and which is really a bad idea because that's really expensive. But Franz, what do you face in the country where you are? Can you go into stores? I think you can pretty much and buy lots of stuff when you want, as you want. Good stuff or crap?
The thing that sells in Manila is Transformers, a lot of DCs, and movie figures. We get the same for Marvel Universe and Marvel Legends. What happened was about a year ago, the importer, the Hasbro importer, because none of the stores buy from Hasbro. There's an importer that distributes them to all the stores. What they do, if they have a new case of Marvel Universe or a new case of Marvel Legends, they will advertise on Facebook through Toys R Us or Toy King. Usually it's Toy Kingdom, not Toys R Us, that we will be having a special distribution. And this sucks. This completely sucks. And I don't know. Actually, I don't know if you've heard of this, but the toy store here, through the importer, is going to have a 1-day or 2-day special distribution. Let's say it's on a Saturday. It starts at 10 a.m. or at 12 noon. The collectors, like idiots, we're going to line up, sign in to get one of each character, no doubles, and you can move on and pay immediately to the cashier. So, collectible and collector figures, the only way you can get them here in Manila is through hobby shops, which are priced 4 times as much on retail, or you go through this distribution crap. And I've made a lot of the group, the collectors group that handles this distribution, like they're the mediating group between the importer and the toy shop. They've sort of kicked me out. They don't like me because I gave them. Is
it your innuendo that's made them kick you out there?
Yeah. No. It's like I told them.
You gotta wear pants when you go in there. You know that, right?
Yeah. No. He looks like a troublemaker to me. He looks like a troublemaker.
No, I did not like the way toys were being sold this way. There was at one point in time, I had to wait 4 hours just to get the toy. I signed up at 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, these idiots were having lunch, and they decided to release the toys at 2 p.m. So it's like 4-hour wait. I mean, I do have a weekend. I mean, I work on weekends, and I gave them heat for that, and I said, can't the supplier just do that? And a whole bunch of stuff, and now I'm completely banned on their website. And that is why I'm not in good terms with the local collecting. Whatnot.
And you had sex with their daughter. I mean, you did all kinds.
That too.
You did all kinds of jacked up stuff.
These are a bunch of nerds. The guys who run, trust me, the guys who run this particular club, it's like these were the guys who got beat up in high school. These were like who got wedgies all the time in high school. Now they've banded together.
I don't have to take this type of treatment.
Yeah, no.
My toys, goddammit.
Bringing back all these memories. No, I'm just kidding.
And I'm serious. These guys are rude. If you talk to them on the website and you say, "Hey, why is there so little stuff? I mean, why are the prices?" All they tell you is, "Hey, just be happy that we have them here, and you better buy them because if you don't buy them, we're never seeing them again." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
Wow.
Sounds like the toy mafia, man, like the toy Sopranos.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's funny you said that. I went to Toy Fair in Australia here last year, and you'd have thought Lego was basically some kind of superstar. Bouncers all around the place. You couldn't get in. You couldn't take any photographs, despite the fact everyone had seen the images at San Diego Comic-Con months earlier. But yeah, some of these they get a little bit. Toy manufacturers get a little bit diva-ish about the toys sometimes. It's very strange, but Look, I want to talk about one subject. I know you joined us there last week. We were on before, so I don't want to keep the show too long. But there's one subject I want to talk about, which is Lego. Just before we do, one of the guys who very kindly helps us sponsor this show here, ChowdhuryToys.com. I buy a lot of my Lego from them. They've got a bit of a promo offer, so if you're interested in doing it, you can pick up a pretty cool set actually. The Emperor's Shuttle, it's an older one, for $55. Head on to ChowdhuryToys.com and you chuck in the code at the checkout, FlyGuy8096, and you get it for $55. That's it. Lots of cool little offers on there. We've got some other little freebies with them as well, so check them out if you do. Talking about Lego, it's something that's kind of overtaken in my collection. Now, I know, Ash, you're saying your Marvel Universe, and Franz, your Transformers, and Eddie, your kind of G.I. Joe, I guess, is your main collecting points. But Lego crosses all those things now. We've got Creo touching into Lego, get into that area almost. G.I. Joe Creo is coming along. And Ash, there's been some really cool Marvel Universe figures in Lego recently. Starting off with you, Ash, Lego, are you interested? Are you picking up little Deadpools, little Wolverines, or are you just avoiding it completely?
I grew up on Legos back when I was a kid. It was all about Legos, G.I. Joes, and Star Wars figures back in the 80s and early 90s. I appreciate them, that I guess the longevity more than anything. The fact that they just keep on going. Legos is like never ending. You don't have to worry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it forever sells no matter what toy shop you go in, no matter what. They're always there. They are like, I was going to say like Twinkies, but we know how that ended up. But, you know, I appreciate them for what they are. I never really got into them. I've branched into other lines recently, but definitely some cool, I know they have some cool vehicles for different, whether it's Joe's or Star Wars. I've always appreciated their Star Wars stuff. I always thought that was cool, but, you know, the problem with me is I have a problem stopping myself from collecting. So I know Legos are so tiny and they're so accessible. You know, there's so many of them. It's kind of like mini-mates, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many of them that if I even opened up that can of ass, you know, I'd be screwed. I mean, I'll have to figure out how to pay for my mortgage next month, you know what I mean? So I kind of I stay away from them, but I do appreciate them for what they are. So definitely some cool stuff.
So we'll get everyone to email you a little or send you a little Deadpool and a Wolverine in the mail, and they'll just be hooked forever.
Yeah,
so,
that's all it'll take, man. Just don't do it.
No, okay, fair enough. Eddie, what about you from that point of view, Lego? I know you've always touched on it before as kind of liking it, but the G.I. Joe Creos were kind of sucky, weren't they? No? Lego in themselves?
Yeah, they were. This is R-rated, right? This podcast, it's R-rated?
It is indeed. You can
Okay. The Legos fucking rock. I love Legos. But I can't, I love them, but they just, they're expensive, so I don't buy them because I'm cheap. The Creos suck. The figures, they look terrible. They look like those mini mates. I don't like the way they look. So I probably won't buy them to sell. But they're cool though. They've got. I mean, I saw the promo images that they released last year, and they had some pretty cool sets on there. But gosh, the minifigures just look terrible. I don't like the way the joints fit. The legs, they look.
Yeah, the Creo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just. Yeah, they're ugly. They're ugly. So. I don't know. I'll wait. I'll see them in person. So, but I won't buy them to sell. So that's for sure.
Fair enough. Franz, what about you with Lego? Particularly given you've got a little daughter, cute little mascot on your channel sometimes. She does some reviews for you now as well. Way to do, child labour. But Lego Friends, is she? She's going to do all your reviews.
Hey,
Anyway.
Yeah. I grew up with Legos as well. They're just the reason they're so expensive. They're the only toys that are not yet made in China. They're still being made in Denmark. That's why they're so freaking expensive. If they were cheaper, I would buy them. But I tried Mega Bloks. They were okay. They were half the price of Legos. Creos, on the other hand, are 1/4 the price of Legos. I've just started getting the Creons. They look, again, as Eddie says, they look great on paper, but once you get to play with them, the parts aren't that tight. You know, you think it's tight.
It's all about tight parts. There you go again. And
No, that's
You think something's tight, but it turns out it's not tight. Yeah, the joints a little bit disappointing, and I didn't like the fact that trios were that the Transformers trios were non-transformable. I think there was a point in time that Legos had Transformers. They were transform models that actually did transform, but the trios were just, you had to break them down completely to rebuild them into a car. Or I did not like that, and so I'll probably stick it with the Creons. I'm tempted to get the minifigures, especially the new ones, the Lego minifigures, but they're just way too pricey for me now. Saving money for Hot Wheels. That's what I'm trying to do.
Hot Wheels, so that's your, yeah. So what we're all basically saying is Lego is like crack, and if we know it's crack, and if we start, we'll all be screwed. So
Expensive crap.
expenses. They are an amazing company. They're certainly changing a lot. I think the availability is still an issue for us. They definitely, in my mind, one of the things Lego does is they price fix a lot. Again, the US pricing is dramatically lower than it is overseas. Given things like ToysRUs.com now ship internationally, still Lego force people that you can actually buy from international sellers like Amazon and Toys R Us. They will not ship a brand new Lego anyway. So we've got to wait almost a generation once Lego has gone maybe 6 months old, then you can maybe buy it. So there's something funny about these guys, I think, in the pricing department. I think that's what keeps it as that expensive crack kind of point. But they're going to need to, at some point, with so many competitors, I think, come down a bit and just kind of, I don't know, make some of the figures in China or something, or do something. And I'm sure they're doing it because they do have factories in Mexico and other places. So, but yeah, it's damn expensive and damn addictive too, which is damn the
similar. It reminds you kind of like of Apple. You know, like you could only do. You know what I mean? Like they monopolize it to the point where it's like,
Sure.
Yeah, buy it or don't. We don't care. Like it is what it is, buddy. Sorry. You know, and that's how they make their money. I mean, I gotta kind of give them a standing O for that. But you know, other than that, they can go fuck themselves. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I think what we get here is that Lego is really, it's a premium brand, like a BMW or a Mercedes. It's a premium car, compared to like a Mega Bloks or Creos, which are, I don't know, Subarus, So they're, they get the job done, but they're just not as nice. They're just not as cool. So yeah, I can't say enough. I love Legos. They're just super cool, and I would love to carry them. I love the little minifigures. I think they're super cute. They're just, oh man, I love them. Lego Millennium Falcon. Oh, it's badass.
Porn. The Death Star.
Awesome. Death Star, yes.
I think those look cool.
Oh, I would love to have that Death Star. It's like $400, man. But I'm just like, man, I cannot do that. I can't do that.
Try 800 here.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
That's Lego for you. That's Lego.
Now,
for you.
is that Lego? Does Lego really set the prices, or is it the retailers there that set the price?
In retail stores, it's probably around about $600. But Lego.com don't have an Australian arm. They just have a one single office. They don't have a distribution point here, so they have to basically use offices in Europe to ship. So to kind of compensate for the big effort of putting Australia on it instead of, I don't know, USA or UK or something, they just basically charge us double. Which is really nice of them. But we can buy stuff like the Death Star from Amazon.com now, which is kind of bizarre, and get it shipped to you for $200 less than Lego.com will sell it to us.
Oh.
So they're really screwed up when it comes to official Lego for Australia. But this is what we get for living in the dusty bowl of the world, pretty much, in this other side of the world here. So, which kind of freaks me out because it always. France, I mean, Manila's not a big place, is it? It's not in terms of the size of the continent and people that are in Manila. How many people are in Manila? 5 million?
No, we're up to 11.8 million.
Oh wow!
Still there's 20 million in Australia. So, but you get toys. We get nothing. So it's a kind of doesn't make sense.
There are a lot of independent toy importers here in Manila. A lot of Filipino Chinese businessmen that have seen the potential for collectors, toy collectors, at the toy collecting market, and you get a bunch of small, they have side businesses, and I like our toys. The guy the owner just uses the shop as like a hobby. He has his own business, a couple other businesses, and that's really what's keeping the toy market competitive here. And it sucks that toys are going up. The prices of toys are going up now, and on top of that, there's an influx of a lot of pirated toys here in Manila. If you want like fake Hawkeyes, fake fake Black Widows, and you get them anywhere. Not anywhere, but there are malls that have kiosks that I put them under the merchandise, so pirated stuff with the expensive stuff. You get all sorts of trading merchandise here in Manila. So it's a small place, but you can find a lot of stuff here.
I've seen and I heard a few of the incidents with the Wolverine, I think from last year, a version of Logan at one point anyway, and he was a hot toy that was going for $200-300, and the amount of fakes that flooded the market was phenomenal. This thing was flooded all over eBay, and as soon as people caught wind, the prices literally went down to like $50-60, and no one was buying it. So never would have believed.
Yeah, there's fake Transformers, fake Marvel Legends. MU, I don't think I've seen any MU fakes, but a lot of pirated. They pirate anything here.
Wow.
Which is, I don't know, China. They get it from China, obviously. So.
Jeez. There you go. Who knew? Look, guys, I don't want to keep you on too much longer. We want to keep the show a little bit tight. Loads of stuff we could have talked about, but we want to do another one. So if you can be around and join us again, we'd love you to come back on. Look, Franz, where can people find you? Where's the best place to hunt you down? Twitter, YouTube, etc. Pimp your place, man.
I would say do not find me. I'm a very boring person. Just watch my reviews. I'm a very not interesting person. Don't talk to me. No, I'm serious. They can talk to me online, just on the YouTube channels, on Cheffatron and FX France. For people still confused, I had this problem with Google. The FX France has been on limbo for partnership, so I've decided to do another channel and prepping it for partnership. So what I did was, for mass release toys, you can watch them on FX France, like the movie. The crappy toys are going to be on on FX France. Not crappy, but movie toys, mass release for kids. The collectible toys, I'm trying to put them all on Cheffatron. So that's how it's going to be.
So if people want to look for them, he's at youtube.com/Cheffatron and youtube.com/FXFrance. And you're on Twitter as well, aren't you? At Cheffatron?
Excuse me?
Yep. You're on twitter.com as...
Twitter.com FXFrance.
FXFrance. There you go. Cool.
He's got so many personalities, he doesn't even know who he is anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Ash, what about you? Thank you for joining us as well, and we hope you can come back, and we'll try and arrange a night where you're not having some meal out with friends and it's like midnight or 1 o'clock for you, but where can people find you? What's your channels, and where can people find you?
First of all, I'd like to say I hate you guys for cock-blocking me. I was in a gigantic orgy before I joined 16 women, that's right. It's all in my fucking head. I just make shit up. Ashrok, ASHROK 1982 on YouTube. Very active also in the ACBA community. If you want to find me there, you can. Ash Haji. But mostly, yeah, YouTube is my thing. I do maybe 1 or 2 videos a week, if that, if the time is allowed and is there. But rated R, man. So if you're an adult collector and you like to laugh, I like to make people laugh. I enjoy doing them. I genuinely enjoy it. Helps me get away from the stresses of the real world, and very appreciative to everybody that's subscribed and following me. It's a lot of fucking fun, man. So, but yeah, and to you guys again, thank you so much for having me. I definitely look forward to being back. Hopefully next time I'll be on time and put the orgy on hold. and we'll have some more fun down the line. Now that I know it's rated R, oh my God, fucking game over. Thanks again,
well,
guys.
YouTube may banish, you never know. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Eddie, where can people find you? I think there's a well-known website where you sell some stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, they can check us out at dorksidetoys.com, and we have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/dorksidetoys. We're also on Twitter, but I don't know what the address is.
Way to market!
I can tell you, it's Dorkside Toys.
I've got some nerd who manages and who helps me with this kind of stuff, so I don't know who the guy is, but he helps me out a lot with it. So.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There is one missing member of our posse today, who is DC, who's unfortunately he couldn't join us, but he does some reviews for us over at techsushi.com. You can also find us on youtube.com/techsushi. We were honoured to have the help of Mr. FX France help us get a little bit of a boost when we first joined, and I have to say, absolute awesome blast getting a chance to speak to you guys. I've watched your videos. I've watched more videos. It's a little bit creepy. I've kind of stalked you on YouTube, and I've watched you guys, and I've bought more products from you, Eddie. So all these people I stalk online, I'm getting to have this conversation with. So it's very, very cool. But thank you again for joining. Great channels. Check these guys out. They rock. They really do. And some great stuff over at dorksidetoys.com. We will be back. We'll do another one. So thank you for joining us. And there'll be an audio version of this you can download. And we'll put that up at techsushi.com. Thank you for joining us. And it's a good day from me.
Thank you.
And me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Okay.
All right.